Hello students, this is Purvi here. Today we are going to discuss about the third chapter of economics from Indian economic development, that is economic reforms since 1991, also known as liberalization, privatization and globalization and appraisal. Before we begin, let us recall what we studied in the last chapter. We studied that in 1991, India met with an economic crisis relating to its external debt. The government was not able to make repayments on its borrowings from abroad, that was, foreign exchange reserves, which we generally maintain to import petrol and other important items, dropped to levels that were not sufficient for even a fortnight. The crisis was further compounded by the rising prices of essential goods. All these led to the government to introduce a new set of policy measures which changed the direction of our development strategies. India approached the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, that is IBRD, popularly known as World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund, and received $7 billion as a loan to manage the crisis. For availing these loans, these international agencies expected India to liberalize and open the economy by removing restrictions on the private sectors, to reduce the role of government in many areas, and remove trade restrictions between India and other countries. India agreed to the conditions of World Bank and IMF and announced new economic policy, which gave rise to the new economic reforms. Before we begin, let us talk about what are economic reforms. Economic reforms. Economic reforms or structural adjustment is a long-term multidimensional package for various policies like liberalization, privatization and globalization, and program for the steady growth, efficiency in production and make a competitive environment. Economic reforms were adopted by Indian government in the year 1991. What were the factors that were responsible for the economic reforms? The factors that were responsible for the economic reforms were fall in foreign exchange reserve as imports grew faster than exports, adverse balance of payments which resulted repayment crisis, mounting fiscal deficit as government expenditure grew faster than revenue, rise in prices which was the negative impact on investment, failure of public enterprises which meant very low return on high investment, Gulf crisis increased due on crude oil prices which negatively affected BOP, high rate of deficit financing and collapse of Soviet bloc. All these factors gave rise to economic reforms. The new economic policy. Now, the new economic policy refers to economic reforms introduced since 1991 to improve the productivity and profitability of economy and to make it globally competitive. Measures of new economic policy. There were basically two measures. Those were stabilization measures and structural adjustment measures. Stabilization measures. These are short-run measures introduced by government to control rise in price, adverse balance of payment and fall in foreign exchange reserve. While structural adjustment measures were long-run policies aimed at improving the efficiency of the economy and increasing its international competitiveness by removing the rigidity in various segments of the Indian economy. Structural reforms. In the new economic policy 1991, structural reforms can be seen with respect to liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Let us discuss each one of these in detail. Liberalization. Liberalization means removing all unnecessary control and restrictions like permits, licenses, protectionist duties, quotas, etc. In other words, it may be defined as loosening of government regulation in a country to allow for private sector companies to operate business transactions with fewer restrictions. Now let us talk about the objectives of liberalization. The various objectives of liberalization were to decrease debt burden of the country, to expand size of the market, to increase competition among domestic industries, and to encourage export and import of goods and services. Economic reforms under liberalization. Now basically there were 5 major reforms that took place under liberalization. Those reforms were industrial sector reforms, financial sector reforms, fiscal reforms, tax reforms, foreign exchange reforms, trade and investment reforms. Under industrial sector reforms, abolition of industrial licensing took place, contraction of public sector, and freedom to import capital goods. While under financial sector reforms, the reduction in various ratios like SLR and CRR, change in role of RBI from regulator to facilitator, and deregulation of interest rates took place. While under foreign exchange reforms, the devaluation of rupee took place. Privatization. Privatization is the general process of involving the private sector in the ownership or operation of a state-owned enterprises. The policies adopted under privatization. Basically, the 3 policies were adopted under privatization, which were contraction of public sector, abolishment of the ownership of government in the management of public enterprises, and sale of shares of public enterprises. Globalization. Globalization may be defined as a process associated with increasing openness, growing economic interdependence, and deepening economic integration in the world economy. What were the various policies that were promoting globalization? Those policies were increase in equity limit of foreign investment, partial convertibility, long-term trade policy, and reduction in tariff. An appraisal for liberalization, privatization, and globalization policies. Now, the LPG policies were appraised because there was an increase in foreign investment, there was an increase in foreign exchange reserves, there was a check of inflation, increase in national income, increase in exports could also be seen, and it established consumer sovereignty. Now, let us talk about the various negative impact of LPG policies. The negative impact of LPG policies were that it neglected the agricultural sector completely. It led to a jobless growth. There was an increase in income inequalities. Also, adverse effect of disinvestment policy could be seen. There was also spread of consumerism. Cultural erosion took place and it encouraged economic colonialism. World Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization as an institution was established in the year 1995. It replaced General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs, that is GATT, which was placed since 1946. The overriding objective of the World Trade Organization is to help trade flow smoothly, freely, fairly, and predictably. Now, let us discuss about the various functions of World Trade Organization. The functions of WTO includes administering WTO trade agreements, acting as a forum for trade negotiations, settling and handling trade disputes, monitoring and reviewing national trade policies, assisting the number in trade policies through technical assistance and training programs, technical assistance and training for developing countries as well, and cooperation with other international organizations. So students, this was a brief about the third chapter from Economics, Indian Economic Development. Thank you.